Okay, so this gate has a header over it. So what that means is that when I start the roof, when I did start the roof, I started on this side of the gate. So this is the exterior wall video, and we'll collect a few spares as always. We come along here. This is a brick exterior wall. The whole house is brick. Now what I have not noticed, okay, between this wall, that corner, and this corner, okay, what I have not been noticing is any control or expansion joints. We typically have control or expansion joints like the ones you see in the street. We expect the brick to move. Okay, we're in North Texas. We expect that. That's why we find dinosaur bones just a little farther west of here, is because this was a swamp in prehistoric times. This is an expansive clay soil. So the dinosaurs came down here to feed off the ground, or came out of the ocean to the ground, but they, for whatever reasons, there's bones around here, and for whatever reasons, for those reasons, similar reasons, we should have expansion or control joints, and we just don't have that. This house is a post-tension cable house. That's what these little circles are. That means when they put cables through and there's several kinds, or at least two kinds of post-tension cable foundations. I don't know which one this is, but when this home was being built, they laid these cables out, they poured the cement. As the cement dried, they tightened the cables, creates a certain amount of tension, post-tension, a small arch, if you will, makes it many times stronger. So that's a good thing to have. Now these windows right here on this side of the home, you'll see that they go up and there's wood over them. Alright? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm going to call your attention to some other windows here in a little bit. Your rain gutters should divert water farther away from the structure. They shouldn't just 2 feet away from the structure. They shouldn't be putting it out here. I get that. You put the downspouts, you put the drains farther out here, than people are stepping on them, tripping on them, hitting them with the lawn mowers and other equipment. So that's why people have a tendency to make them shorter like that. There's also other options. You could terminate them in the ground, and they could come out over here, and that would be a better solution than what we have here. Okay, there is a retaining wall here and a retaining wall here. Okay, this is the east wall and the north wall. If these walls are farther from the structure than twice their height, so a 45-degree angle, and you don't come to the retaining walls, then we are taught, okay, the Texas Real Estate Commission even, okay, we understand that these walls are beyond the scope of a TREC inspection. These walls, in theory, should have no effect on the foundation, no direct effect anyway. So that's what that is. This retaining wall over here, that's the high side. And I don't do surveys. This is not a survey, but usually the high side belongs to the other yard. It belongs to your neighbor. It's your neighbor's responsibility. Usually that's the way that works. Okay, this is a pergola, a nice pergola that we've installed over here. Pretty nice to have. Alright. I cannot tell whether these posts have had stands installed. Stands, S-T-A-N-D-S. Okay, hillbilly home inspection. I cannot tell because we have, this little skirts installed around them, little baseboards, and but they should have stands installed underneath them to help prevent moisture from wicking up into them. I've been pushing on this guy a little bit. That's what I do. I'm a pusher. See the way that guy moves? Alright. When you have your horizontal members, you should have 3 fasteners. Now those 2 fasteners, those are big whammer jammers. Those are big mamas. I get that. They're not going to break. But when you have 2, it's a teeter-totter effect. And if you had 3, it would make a much more rigid connection, and it would minimize this kind of action. These are different windows than the first ones I showed you. This is what I wanted to get to. Okay, we've got a dog door installed into this exterior door. If you've got a dog, that might be a benefit to you. But without a dog, you have a hole in your door. Anytime you have brickwork over a fenestration that is supported by a lintel, this is metal lintels here. Anytime you have these, then they should have weep holes in them. See right here, we have a weep hole. Around the foundation perimeter, we have weep holes. We need weep holes. Brick is a very good product. Okay, this house can burn down and you can still use the brick. You can still use the brick. It's a very good insulator. But one thing brick is it's porous. Porous. And so water does go through the brick. We know that. So we make allowances. We install weep holes in the brick. And most of the time, the only thing you're going to see come out of there is vapor. I mean, you won't even see the vapor, excuse me. Most of the time, the only thing that comes out of there is vapor. If you have an event, I've seen an event. I hope you don't. But water will come through these. But now we've got, when you have a lintel, if you have the wood over the top, that's different. It's not brick. If it's a curve, that's an arch. It's not supported by a lintel. That's different. But anytime you have a lintel, a horizontal steel reinforcement bar between your fenestration, which is a window or a door, and the brickwork, then we should have weep holes over these lintels all across the backside and also across the garage as well. Okay, making sure we got some water. And we're not testing the electricity out here because I might trip the GFCI. And if I trip the GFCI, I might not be able to reset it because this home is occupied and the garage is occupied. And I haven't seen the home because there's 2 big dogs in here. And it was requested that this inspection would not be conducted in this manner so that I wouldn't have to disclose what I was actually able to test and not, and we could just hope that I could test that. But that's not the case today. That's not the case today. So the listing agent had a letter. The listing agent acknowledged the letter. Okay, so over here, you see where all the moss is growing? The grading and drainage is level. The rain gutters do not carry water far enough away from the structure. And all these bushes that are growing next to the house, this is conducive to wood-destroying insects. Carpenter ants like this, termites, they're blind, so they like to go into little places to protect themselves. And so they like to do that to go unseen. That's how they evolved through the millenniums. And so this is conducive to wood-destroying insects, specifically to subterranean termites and to carpenter ants. Additionally, see the way those roots are growing in there? They're going to chew up your mortar. Is brick porous? Yes, we just talked about brick being porous. So you've got porous brick, and we got the roots from these vines growing into the brickwork, causing it to be even more porous, weakening it. I get it. It's kind of attractive, kind of breaks up the, flow of things. But no, you're not supposed to have that. Coming along here, we still do not have weep holes. And on these corners, there's 3 spots that I can remember seeing. But right here, okay, where the roof covering comes down in that corner where the rain gutter is right there, okay, we should have kick-out flashing there. Kick-out flashing, it knocks the... And you saw that from a previous video. We're coming on along here. Of course, we don't have weep holes. We should have kick-out flashing here too. Kick-out flashing there too. And my client was concerned about a hole that he's seen right here, and it's apparent to me that that was so that some type of a security system could be installed, or a camera system. This roofing system is a continuous soffits. See all those perforated soffits? You got holes all the way around. When we get into the attic, and that would have been a video we've seen sooner, we're going to be looking for some structural accommodation for the fact that we do have a continuous soffit vent. But we need so the hole there doesn't mean much, really, as far as allowing air, water into the attic. You might want to seal that a little bit so that maybe a rodent would be less inclined to take up residence in your attic. So there's that. Rain gutters again. This is the high ground. This is your neighbors. Okay. Regardless, it's more than twice its height from the structure. So regardless, this should not immediately affect your foundation and is beyond the scope of this inspection. So moving on along, this is the parent bedroom bathroom window, and you see the rainbow hues in here. I believe the vapor seal has been compromised between here. You're not going to lose any energy, and I might as well have this conversation now, before they do the interior. But you're not going to lose any energy. You're not going to lose any security. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, you lost your seal, you lost the energy." No, you'll never be able to measure any lost energy. But the Texas Real Estate Commission considers it seal broken. That's what they consider. Then this window, not only is it fixed and opaque for the bathroom, it's different than these windows, but it's also different in these windows that it extends out and away, and it's not butted up next to the freeze boards and the headers. And so it's extended out here, and this window should have Z-bar flashing. And so we'll just make that note right here. Parent bathroom window does not have Z-bar flashing. It's a special little flashing that comes out so that the water doesn't collect behind here, and then once the water collects behind here, then it does its deed, and then it starts rotting stuff. So fence posts are beyond the scope of this inspection, but some of these fence posts don't have caps, and so water can fill up inside of these and corrode them at the bottom. None of this happens overnight, I get that. None of this happens overnight, but that's what that's for. That's what that's for. Moving on along. Lawn sprinkler heads are closer than 4 inches to the foundation. Water heater TMP is too high. TMP drain line discharge is too high from the ground. Electric disconnect for the condensing unit is behind the unit. It has not been sealed. The electric meter has not been sealed. We cannot determine that there's grounding. And we're on the west side of the house, by the way. We also learned that we have too much water pressure. We also learned that this is the control wires for the lawn sprinkler system. That'll allow water to get in there and cause us some breeze. Spray heads are too close. Have not seen a weather sensor. I've been looking for a weather sensor. Lawn sprinkler system doesn't seem to have a weather sensor. Trees should not be closer than 24 feet, 25 feet to a structure. The branches can cause wreak havoc on your roof structure, your rain gutters, and your wall systems. The roots can wreak havoc on your foundation system, and that's why it's in the foundation part. Now, yeah, everybody's got them. Everybody's got them, all right? The homeowners association may require you to have them for all I know, but I'm just telling you that structurally that was a poor choice. Where do termites live? In the ground. What do they eat? Dead wood. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. It's called a clue. That's conducive to wood destroying insects. It's conducive to wood destroying insects. It's conducive to termites. It sure is. Coming along here, one thing I haven't noticed, and I said we did not have control joints, but one thing I haven't noticed is a lot of movement. I just haven't seen a lot of movement on the brickwork. There's a little bit by the back door, just a little bit. I don't even think I mentioned it, but it is in the report. I know that. I got there's another fogging window right there, the south window. It's up in the attic. It's been painted black. You probably won't see that. It's in, but it's there. We got a couple signs of movement right here. You got a little bit of cracking right there by the east carriage style wall sconce and the lintel right there. And then coming along here, this looks like termites, but I don't think it is. Alright, it's a shelter tube all the same. I get it. The termites is stiff and ants is soft. And I hate to disturb this, but I can see this around here, so I wholly expect to see ants in here. But when you disturb an ant bed, they go off and make 3 more ant beds. That's how they evolved. That's how they grow. So I hate disturbing an ant bed unnecessarily. They should be treated with a bait system, and in about 10 or 14 days it goes away. You got to be patient. I mean, you can put some, dust on there and kill them immediately, but they'll be right back. And you put the bait on there, and they'll be gone for like 90 days. So, or you can pay a professional to do it, and they'll be gone for 6 months. They'll give you a 1-year warranty, because they know they're coming back, and that's how they do it. But anyway, I'm going to do this just so we know, is this termites or not? And it's not. See how soft that is? See those ants are coming out of there? Now, I just created 3 more ant nests, and I apologize for that. But that's the only way we can know for sure that's not an ant. That's not a termite tube. Okay? That is an ant tube. And there are wood-destroying ants called carpenter ants, but they do not have shelter tubes like that, and they're not shaped like that. They act differently. They're different animals. It's not a wood-destroying insect. Coming on along. Okay, over our front portico, we've got a pretty good crack right there. We've got a minor crack right there. The wall sconces, the carriage-style lamps, the exterior light fixtures attached to the walls, they should be sealed to help prevent moisture from getting in between them right there. Alright. The doorbell should be sealed. Bushes growing next to the house, wood mulch next to the house. Coming on along, the screens are showing a little wear and tear. Rain gutter downspouts should not discharge directly onto the roof covering. Alright, that'll wear your shingles out. Now what's the answer to that? Putting a downspout down the front, it looks ugly as can be. That's what the answer is. So I understand why we wouldn't do that. I'm just saying that, it's a kind of a no-win situation. Rain gutters. The butt ends of the rain gutter should be a minimum of 2 inches away from the brickwork, and we should have kick-out flashing right there. So we've got the butt end and the kick-out flashing. Just write that up. Hang on, my method. Rain gutter butt end next to the front portico southeast corner, and no kick-out flashing there either. Trees too close. We're moving along. This is just about where we started, because this is when I told you, remember I said there's no control joints. And again, we got wooden mulch next to the house, we got bushes next to the house. These things, and this is not the first one I've seen, but this is the first time I'm going to talk about it. Probably should be sealed, right? See that? Probably should be sealed. Okay, this is a in-wall pest control system. It's not in-wall for termites. It's not those kind of animals. It's for ants and roaches. Those ants that I was poking at, it's for them. And roaches and those kinds of things. But it's not for termites. But that's an in-wall system that you can come and have it injected. And it would be a bait system or a long-time system. And it would take care of those ants I was talking about. Moving on along, moving on along. Again, screens are getting kind of shiny. They're showing signs of their age. They're showing signs of their age. And this is where we started. This is where we started.